In the past couple videos, I've seen the comments where Colorado fans are like, oh yeah, well we've had 17 players in the portal, Matt, but only one of those guys are starters. And I'm with you on that. But this one right here, it's hard to feel good about it or even take a positive out of it whatsoever. You're not just losing a really great running back, but you're losing a really great player who was a key part of your offense last year. Well, I was working on a documentary video for you guys, and as I was working on that, my phone starts blowing up, but I kind of brushed it to the side. I was like, it's probably nothing. Come to find out, yeah, it's something. This is some big time and shocking news. I do apologize that I am a tad bit late to this news, but like I said, I was working on a different video. Hope you guys understand. And to tell you the truth, I thought that video we made yesterday on Colorado and Deion Sanders, that was going to be the last time we were going to talk about him for a while. I really thought there wasn't going to be too much noise being made. I figured they may potentially pick up a couple of new additions in the transfer portal, but outside of that, not too much is going to happen. But here we are, and I think a lot of you know what's going on, and if not, you're about to find out. And oh yeah, by the way, let me throw this in here. The entire transfer portal in general, it's going crazy today. I might be hyping that up a little too much, but one other notable player that entered the portal that is also a head scratcher to me is Texas. Their former 5-star cornerback who had 3 interceptions last year, he entered the portal. Not too sure what that's about. If you know anything about why Terrence Brooks would enter the portal, let us know in the comment section. And oh yeah, by the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. I don't got time to waste. You don't got time to waste either. It's relatively simple. If you like college football content videos like this, consider subscribing, joining our amazing community. We'd love to have you here. If you don't want to join, that's cool too. Getting that out the way though, Colorado earlier this morning lost not just one, but 2 running backs, one of those being their star running back. The first running back they lost is Savon Wilkerson, who, remember, he played at Jackson State and he was really good for them. He had over 1,100 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns in 2022. He entered the transfer portal, and to be honest, if you don't think too much about that, I don't blame you whatsoever. But this is the one that has everybody talking, and it had you guys blowing me up on Twitter, by the way. Shout out to the people that was sending this to me. I'll pop up some of your names right here, the tweets. Dylan Edwards, he entered the portal. Make no mistakes about it, losing Dylan Edwards, who is a special running back, it's a detrimental loss. He's the definition of electric and elusive, and he was a bright spot for that team last year. Edwards can play, man, and when I was watching him last year for Colorado, I know he's a running back, but the way he plays the game, it reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. I don't want to call him a gadget guy, because when you hear that, you think of, oh yeah, it's just a guy you insert for about 10 to 15 plays per game. But I would label him as a speed demon and dang near a game changer. And in reality, he fits the modern era of the new running back that everybody's looking for. He's got those quick twitch abilities you can't coach. Bottom line is, he's an exciting player on the field and he's exciting to watch. Just scrolling through some of the comments here, I have seen quite a bit of people say that he might potentially be going to K-State. I have no idea what the correlation is there, so if you know anything about that, fill us in the comment section or fill me in the comment section. But before we get into where Dylan Edwards potentially will wind up, let's talk about this, and this is the main focal point of this video. Why is he leaving? Fortunately enough for you guys, I have a pretty good educated guess to answer that question. Right around this time yesterday, it was announced that former Ohio State running back Dallan Hayden, he's going to Colorado. So I don't think you gotta be some rocket scientist to point to this right here and say, yeah, there's probably a good chance the reason Dylan Edwards is leaving is because Dallan Hayden, he's coming in. Now, with that being said, here's the real question we need to be talking about and asking ourselves. How big of a factor did bringing in this new running back play into Dylan Edwards leaving? Because we know, like I just said, it played somewhat of a factor. But are we talking about 5% or 95%? For me personally, I have a hard time believing that as soon as Dylan Edwards found out the news that Dallan Hayden, he's coming to Colorado, he was like, oh yeah, that's it. I don't want to compete for him or with him for the starting job. I don't want to share carries, none of that. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Maybe some of you believe that, but for me personally, I have a hard time believing that. So I know what you're sitting here saying. Well, Matt, what are you trying to say then, buddy? What I'm saying is, I definitely think this wasn't the only thing that played into his decision. Some other things went on behind the scenes. Let's be rational here. Dylan Edwards, unless my memory's fogging up a little bit here, from my knowledge, he shared carries last year, didn't he? He wasn't the main guy, and currently, before he entered the transfer portal, he was the starter. He was the starter. He wasn't running back 2, running back 3. No, he's starting. And I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but it's not like Dallan Hayden here is like some flat-out superstar who's going to take 95% of the carries. Even if Dylan Edwards lost the starting job to Dallan Hayden, he was still going to be playing a significant amount of time. Don't get me wrong, I most definitely believe that Dallan Hayden deciding to come to Colorado, it played into Dylan Edwards' decision about 55%. The other 45 to 50% is various other reasons adding up. All in all, though, there's 3 reasons as to why Dylan Edwards would have transferred, and let me know which reason you think it was for. Number 1, he wants to be the guy. He wants to be the running back, and he doesn't want to share carries whatsoever. Number 2, he's in the locker room. He's at the practices. He may already see the writing on the wall that Colorado's not going to be a really good team, and he wants to play for a winning team that's going to compete, or not necessarily for a championship, but compete for a conference championship, something along those lines. Reason number 3 is, maybe, and this is just a maybe, he's testing out the NIL waters. I'm just spitballing here. We don't know. In conclusion, though, I don't think it's one specific thing. I think it's a combination of everything. And I tell you this much, I don't think it's just quite as simple as, oh yeah, he doesn't want to compete for the starting job with Dallan Hayden. I am wishing him the best of luck, though, and I hope he continues to succeed wherever he decides to go. As far as it goes for Colorado fans, there's no sugarcoating this one. You can't even be optimistic about it. It's just not very good. In the past couple of videos, I've seen the comments where Colorado fans are like, oh yeah, well we've had 17 players in the portal, Matt, but only one of those guys are starters. And I'm with you on that. But this one right here, it's hard to feel good about it or even take a positive out of it whatsoever. You're not just losing a really great running back, but you're losing a really great player who was a key part of your offense last year. It sucks, but it happens. It's the way the new era of college football is. Losing Savon Wilkerson, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. He didn't do anything for you last year. I'm pretty curious though, especially for my Colorado fans. Let me know your thoughts on this, how you feeling about it. You could make the argument and say that it's, well, we're just swapping out Dylan Edwards for Dallan Hayden. It's 1A, 1B, and I could hear that argument out. I don't think that's ridiculous to say at all because 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago in 2022, Dallan Hayden had something like 500 or 600 rushing yards for Ohio State. And with Dallan Hayden, you might be getting a better running back, whereas with Edwards, he's probably slightly better out of the backfield when it comes to receiving. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Was doing some digging and research, and it's looking like originally coming out of high school, Dylan Edwards, he was committed to Kansas State, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm not going elsewhere, and as we all know, ends up at Colorado. Okay. So how do you feel about that, Kansas State fans? Would you want him to come back? Would you welcome him back? Let me know. It also appears to seem there's some chatter about him going to Louisville, Nebraska. I've even seen people say Ole Miss. Where's it at? Hold on. Let me find it. I just saw it somewhere. Give me a minute. Not cutting this out. Best editor on the planet. You already know this. Hold on. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Miami is going all in right now. I feel that way with Ole Miss. I feel like it's going to be one of those teams for Dylan Edwards. Not too sure about the Ole Miss or Miami one. I don't think that's going to happen. I like the first report talking about Louisville. I could see him winding up there, or Nebraska, or back at Kansas State. Who knows? There's many more things we can talk about. I want to make this a short, simple, and sweet video. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. But